Hey there my peeps, I'm here with some more prediction game videos. This time it's for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's going to be a last man standing match between the Big Show and Del Rio, the current champion. He just beat the Big Show on SmackDown a couple weeks back, so now Big Show's mad and he wants his rematch, so he's invoking his rematch clause at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Now this is going to be their second last man standing match. By the way, speaking of last man standing matches and Big Show and Del Rio, I challenge you guys to play a last man standing match on WWE 13. Play as Del Rio and face off against the Big Show. Set the difficulty to either hard or legend, and set the match experience setting to epic. And try and win the match in around 8 minutes or less than that. It's a pretty hard task. So what I did instead is I just made this. I set the match experience, I believe, to normal, if I'm not mistaken here. So anyways. As far as this match goes, I've already stated that I think Del Rio's gonna win this matchup. Do I think Big Show could win? Maybe. You know, it could always happen. But the thing is, we're so close to WrestleMania time right now, and on the other hand, you've also got Dolph Ziggler, who's a heel, and he holds the Money in the Bank briefcase. The thing is, when Big Show was champion, and you know Dolph Ziggler was holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. You know, I was pretty sure Dolph Ziggler wasn't going to cash in on Big Show, because, you know, these are two heels. If Dolph Ziggler cashes in on the Big Show, when the Big Show's the champion, the Big Show's entitled to a rematch, and that means, you know what that means, you know, two heels facing off in a one-on-one match, which usually doesn't happen. So now that the Big Show is no longer champion, that opens up an opportunity for Dolph Ziggler to cash in whenever they want Dolph Ziggler to cash in, because if you got Del Rio, who now isn't a heel anymore, he's a face. Speaking of that, you know, Del Rio, what's funny about Del Rio is you look back when he was a heel, look at his crowd reaction back then, like a couple months back, you know, not that long ago, and look at his crowd reaction now. The guy went from like not having any crowd reaction or very minimal crowd reaction to right now being pretty damn over with the crowd, just because, you know, he switched, he became a face instead. And his personal ring announcer, Ricardo's also a face now. So, what a change as far as Del Rio's crowd reaction goes. And now, with that change, like I said, Dolph Ziggler can cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, I'm not sure if he's going to cash in at the Rumble. Honestly, it really depends. If this matchup, the world title match, is before the actual Royal Rumble match, then I don't think Dolph Ziggler's going to cash in that world's that Money in the Bank briefcase, because that means he cashes it in, most likely becomes champion, and then once he's champion, why would he join or enter the Royal Rumble matchup? Maybe to win the WWE Championship too? Nah, I don't think they'd do that. I don't think they'd have the World Heavyweight Champion competing in the Royal Rumble matchup. I think that would just kind of devaluate the title, like, you know, like it's not good enough or something like that. And like, it's kind of like back in, I think, the 2008, I'm pretty sure it was the 2008 Royal Rumble. Might have been 09 though, 08 or 09. Yeah, Chavo Guerrero, who was the ECW champion at the time, entering the Royal Rumble matchup. I don't know, to me, that kind of devaluated the title, made it seem less important, made it seem like, you know, Chavo's the champion, and he's like, you know, okay, I might be ECW champion, but the world title and WWE title is just so much better, so let me enter the Royal Rumble matchup. So, yeah, Dolph Ziggler, will he cash in, will he not cash in, like I said. If it's before the Rumble matchup, I don't think he's going to cash in, and if it's after, even if it's after, I don't think he's going to cash in. I'm thinking Dolph Ziggler's going to cash in that briefcase at WrestleMania, whether Del Rio remains champion or not. If Del Rio loses the championship at WrestleMania to another face, then I could see Dolph Ziggler cashing in that briefcase on that other face. Or if Del Rio retains, then I could see Dolph Ziggler cashing in on Del Rio at that time. That's also assuming that Del Rio goes in to WrestleMania as champion, because you've got to keep in mind, Big Show is in the last obstacle or matchup, title matchup for Del Rio. There's still the Elimination Chamber, so whether Del Rio defends the title one-on-one at the Elimination Chamber or inside the actual Elimination Chamber matchup, anything can happen. We could crown a new world champion. it could be a heel this time, or it could be a face. Who knows? It could even end up with like a triple threat match or fatal 4-way match at WrestleMania for the world title. I actually prefer that. Right now, it's just so unpredictable with the world title picture. You don't know who's gonna go into WrestleMania as champion, who's gonna be the challenger. It's really unpredictable, but I like it this way. You know, you never know what's gonna happen, so it keeps you, you know, surprised, and you like never know what's gonna happen. Now, let's say Big Show wins the championship here. If Big Show wins the championship, then I definitely can't see Dolph Ziggler catching in that briefcase as long as Big Show's champion. If he wins here, I'm predicting he holds it until WrestleMania. And then at WrestleMania, he fights against Ryback, who either wins the Royal Rumble matchup or wins an Elimination Chamber match or something to face the Big Show at WrestleMania for the championship. And then once Ryback beats Big Show at WrestleMania, assuming he beats Big Show at WrestleMania, assuming also the match happens, then I could see Dolph Ziggler coming in, cashing in a briefcase against Ryback, and, you know, taking that world title. Who knows, even you could have Ryback beat the Big Show, and then have the Shield attack him, because the Shield so far, you know, has been attacking Ryback like every chance they get. So they could attack Ryback, and Dolph Ziggler takes advantage of that by cashing in right then and there. But the issue with that is, it kind of leaves a lot of the SmackDown superstars or main event superstars away from the title scene for too long, or, you know, for a good while, because if Big Show beats Del Rio at the Rumble, and then, you know, Del Rio's entitled to the rematch clause, so they face off in a one-on-one matchup. It's the Elimination Chamber. Then what do Randy and Sheamus do in the meanwhile? You know, do they take a step back? Maybe they could focus on a one-on-one matchup, non-title between the two. But honestly, if Randy versus Sheamus happens, I think it would happen as a title match. Things are just so, like I said, hard to predict right now on not just the world title picture, but just the whole SmackDown side of things. You know, Sheamus, Randy. It seems like they're going for a matchup there against the two, between the two. But is it going to be like a title match? Is it not going to be a title match? Because if it's a title match, you know, one of them has to win the title, like, soon, you know, at the Elimination Chamber maybe, or something like that. And then if they do win the title at the Elimination Chamber, what does Del Rio do? What does Big Show do? And also, you've also got Ryback, who maybe he's, you know, going to be in the world title picture at WrestleMania. It's hard to predict, but as far as just Big Show, Del Rio right now at the Rumble, this one I'm thinking it's a safe bet to go with Del Rio, and I think he's going to retain here and move on to the Elimination Chamber and defend it inside the Elimination Chamber structure. So that's pretty much it. In the comments section, tell me what you think is going to happen with the world title match. Is it going to be Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler, or Big Show versus Ryback, or Randy Orton versus Sheamus, or Sheamus versus Del Rio, or a triple threat match? I don't know. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can click that like button. I really appreciate it. With that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.